Three more teams punched their ticket into round number 2, while 2 teams hang in there. Day 9 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's talk about it right now on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is August 19th, 2020, and 3 teams go to the second round, while Montreal and Vancouver win as well to stay alive in their series. Welcome to Teal Town After Dark Playoff Edition. This is your live and interactive Sharks postgame. If you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it, folks. Just chat with us and fellow hockey fans and Sharks fans in the YouTube channel, the page, or the app. And always follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Reddit, and, of course, the Discord. So thank you for tuning in. And, of course, for more Sharks content, hit us up at tealtownusa.com. And with that, hi, everyone. Coming to you from the alternate studio, wishing you well and hope you're having a great evening. I am Eric Kura. I can be followed on Twitter at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter machine. Let's see. We already got some hello. Goat James. What's up? Ruben. Canceled drinks tonight with Gretzky to watch this. I appreciate that, Ruben, but you have my number. If you're talking with Gretzky, tell him to come on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. We have good friends and fans of this show, and we appreciate you all immensely. We appreciate you all. If you're new to this program, please hit the subscribe button down below. If not already, hit that notification bell. That will let you know when we jump on the air, especially if there's ever breaking news. We do go live for live reaction afterwards. So appreciate all that going for you. Now, that being said, let's talk about Elimination Wednesday in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We have 5 games on hand, and 4 of them involved elimination games. We'll start off with Tampa Bay and Columbus. The first game, Columbus was up by 2. Tampa Bay comes back late in the third period to send it overtime, and of course, Braden Point again. Overtime hero Braden Point with the game-winning goal. That gets Tampa Bay over their hump. They get their revenge on the Columbus Blue Jackets. They go to the second round. Kudos all around to the Tampa Bay organization. Now, that being said, the pick that the Sharks get will be no greater or no better than 24th. What can you say? I mean, what can you say about it tonight, folks? 24th is the worst case scenario. We'll see what happens though. As the East bracket shapes up, we won't know for sure who Tampa's opponent will be until everything is situated. Could be as early as Friday to find out when that will happen. But kudos to what Tampa did. And, no slouch for what Columbus did. A hell of a year for a team that lost a number of players. Dzingel, Duchesne, Bobrovsky, for crying out loud. I mean, they lost all 3 of those guys. I don't think anybody gave them a chance in hell. They signed Nyquist from the Sharks. And look what happens. They find a way to get into the qualifiers. I don't want to say shock the Leafs, but they really did a number on them. And so a great year all around for Columbus. They will head home out of the bubble, and Tampa Bay kind of picking up where they left off at the end of regular season, that's for sure. So you definitely have that going on for Tampa. Great offensive mind. Braden Point picking it up. 2 overtime winners. I mean, shoot, the guy is clutch and clutches everything, my friends. In Columbus, a tough year to go around, but they're on their way back to going a little bit better. But like Nyquist was 1 goal in 35 playoff games, though. It's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, but he definitely had a lot of looks. Nyquist definitely had a lot of looks going on, and it just didn't pan out for him. We'll see what happens with that. 21 Puck saying when we thought CBJ could stack up against VGK, eliminate them, and now they're out of the playoffs. Yeah, such is life in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and it goes by year by year. I mean, sure, there are probably many people who picked Columbus because what they did to Tampa last year. What they did to Tampa last year was last year. Remember that. Players do change. People go places, and there's that revenge factor. I mentioned it before. There was that revenge factor in 2016 where the Sharks took on LA. It escalated them to go to the Stanley Cup final. It pumped them up. It got them going, proved them battle tested. They were ready to roll. That could be the same thing for Tampa. Vasilevsky played well. He had shaky starts here and there, but who doesn't? Just ask Martin Jones. I mean, come on. But Tampa's got good defense, good offense, forwards. They got good goaltending, good coaching. They're ready to go. It's all in their hands. And if they get Stamkos back, oh, watch out. I mean, seriously, watch out for Tampa Bay. So I saw this in there just as I was beginning. So from an Aussie, stay safe from the fires, Bay Area fam. Yeah, absolutely. I am indoors and safe. For those who are not aware or out of the Northern California area where we originate this program from, there are a lot of fires. We had a lot of lightning in the area earlier in the week, and it did spark some fires throughout the Bay Area. We have one. We have some in St. Helena and Napa. Thankfully, my grandmother just moved out of Calistoga. Most likely, she would have been evacuated. There's some in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Our best to our friend Don Holio on Twitter. He was evacuated last night. We have some friends in the Vacaville, Napa, Fairfield area that are being evacuated as we speak. And now I think we just saw, well, not even 40 minutes ago, that there are things in the evacuations on hand around Mount Hamilton. The Lick Observatory is trying to be saved by firefighters right now, which is crazy to think. So everyone, please be safe. If you're evacuating, be careful. A couple of ours evacuate, Don and Nathan. So let's be careful, and everybody, all the best to you. Please be safe. Keep checking in. If you're on the Twitter machine, please let us know that you're safe, because while we are a hockey podcast, we also care about each other. That's the one thing about #SharksFam. We're a big old family that's united by Teal, and we wish you all the best, and hopefully hear from you in the very near future. So thank you. Hope you're doing okay. Let's get back to something a little distracting from the craziness that is 2020, and that is playoff hockey in August. Let's go to Boston, Carolina. Is it me, or does Boston just seem to have all kinds of luck going on? Like, seriously. Did you guys see the game-winning goal for Boston today? With 3 seconds left in the second period, Patrice Bergeron just throws the puck towards the skates of Peter Mrazek. It goes in. That's the game-winning goal. That's the series-winning goal. How sickening is that if you're a Carolina fan? Like, seriously. I mean, yikes. Mm. Carolina heads home. Bunch of jerk season was great last year. Now they're expected to do a little bit more, especially going to the Eastern Conference Final. Expectations are high, uh, and they don't do anything. So now becomes a huge year where I don't know. What do you go for? You have a good defense. Goaltending is a little iffy here and there, but you know, lucky bounces in the playoffs. That's hockey. You just, you know, it is what it is, man. But the Bruins just seem to be better. They're finding their stride, doing it without Tuukka Rask. First off, although no disrespect to Yaroslav Halak, he's proven to be a good goaltender. But the injuries and who knows how 100% Jordan Staal is. Shevchenkov, um, like Patrick Tyler is saying, Svech getting injured didn't help the Canes. Nope. And Chara knew what he was doing. Apparently, this just in, Jack Edwards is going to have another round of things to be annoyed about in the next round, which is just what this sport needs, is an annoying announcer. An annoying announcer who just, is so beyond bias, it's unreal. I mean, besides Bruins fans, is there anybody that likes Jack Edwards? Like, seriously. Guy's an idiot. But hey, they like him for some reason because he's getting the trolling going. So Boston moves on to round 2. It's just surprising, but not really. Boston is a solid team with a solid group. Probably maybe the last chance for them with this group before they're going to have to change things up. I think you could say the same thing with Chicago. This is the last hurrah for them. As for Carolina, they have a good nucleus. Does Justin Williams retire? Does Mr. Game 7 retire? That remains to be seen. He only played part of the year, so we'll see what happens there. To Colorado and Arizona. And Jerk, if you're watching, I'm so sorry, bud. You know that Jerk will be saving his comments for the pucknologist. But they figured out Darcy Kemperley's last few games, and it really showed. A 3-goal first period, a 3-goal second period, and that just pretty much put the Desert Dogs away. Pour one out for the Desert Dogs. I can hear Amanda saying, don't spill it. But the Coyotes had a heck of a year. They come in, shock Nashville. Or excuse me, Nashville? I forget. Help me out, chat. But Arizona, getting into the playoffs was great. And now they have an interesting offseason. Where do they go now? Where does this team go now? They have Taylor Hall to resign. Do they move Phil Kessel? What do you do with your goaltending? Especially with an expansion draft coming where you're going to potentially lose one of your goaltenders. And for that matter, do we see Kachina full time? We'll see. Their last year in the Pacific coming up. We'll see. So enjoy all those Desert Dogs references from Brody and Randy Hahn when we get back to Sharks hockey, for sure. But Colorado moving on, and Raise your hand if you had Bo Horvat and Nazem Kadri as your in the prediction pool of being the goal scoring leaders in the playoffs so far. I don't see anybody there, but hey, thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. But oh, Nazem Kadri making Kyle Dubas cringe every time he scores. That's for sure. I mean, seriously, 6 goals in what 8 games? Two today. Nathan McKinnon with another 2. He's no slouch. He's right up there. I mean, shoot. Kadri's looking like a steal right now for a team that has great offense, pretty solid defense, great goaltending. They can go deep, and honestly, I think they're the only team that can take out Vegas easily. I can't see them doing anything else. Mm-mm. Fortunately, I have no co-host to toss it over to, so forgive the drinks of the water. It's warm, it's parched. Yes, I am wearing a hockey jersey too, but that's part of the contract. And speaking of which, if you haven't noticed, I've been wearing a different jersey every night. Tonight, it's Tomas Hertl with his alternate captain. Thank you, Amanda. To Montreal and Philadelphia, where Philly is supposed to just wrap things up. Freaking Alain Vigneault had his fancy purple suit on tonight. But Montreal gets out to an early lead, and then a dumb penalty by Kotkaniemi. Yikes. A bad boarding call. Gets kicked out of the game early in the second period. Billy with Voracek scoring 2 on the 5-minute major gets things going. But here's the thing. Montreal didn't quit. They jumped right back into it. They tied it with a goal from Armia. Gallagher with a beauty, uh, you know, off the ice. Great hand-eye coordination. Nick Suzuki gets a goal taken away because of an obvious offsides that was missed, but then gets one in the third to put it away. Then another empty netter. Definitely, you have a nastiness to it. It was shades of 1987. I don't remember seeing how many cross checks to the face there. I was like waiting for Ron Hextall and Chris Chelios to start a brawl or a pregame warm-up brawl. Look that up afterwards. Flyers Canadians brawl 1987. It was pretty bad for sure. So, but Montreal getting some great goaltending from Carey Price. Can they hang on to it? Can they hang on to it as they go to Game 6? That'll be on Friday. It'll be something to be told if that's the case. And then finally, did somebody say Vancouver? The Canucks come back from 3-1 down to win Game 5, 4-3. I mean, first game of the qualifying round, Jake Virtanen is a healthy scratch. Many people, including my friends at TSN 1040 in Vancouver, who they're on the air with the post-game show right now, and I'm sure about 2 hours ago they were thinking, they were prepping for calls to saying, man, we should have tanked to get Lafreniere. Should have tanked to get Lafreniere. Like a tiger, drunk shorthouse if they advance. Sure. Absolutely. Oh, yes. And to quote Rocket, Vertanen. That'll get mentioned on the Technologist. And I would assume they're going to go this Sunday, especially if things are wrapped up. They might be delayed if the series don't finish up by the weekend. AJ, if you're watching, let me know otherwise. But a great performance coming back from The Canucks, Tyler Mott have a game, 2 goals, one a shorty. And no, we're not talking John Shorthouse. Uh, Markstrom with some timely saves, but the Blues never say die. They took a 3-1 lead. They got that 3-1 lead. But here's the question now. You blow a 3-1 lead. Now you're facing elimination. Do you go back to your boy Bennington? Like, seriously, do you go back to your boy Bennington that got you a cup? Again, an interesting call during an interesting postseason. And it's not the least of which what they did in 2016 against the Sharks. Brian Elliott was the starting goaltender for the for the Blues. Then they went a couple of games with Jake Allen. Jake Allen won a game. In this case, he won 2. Then he lost the game. Do they go back or not? I think you go with Jordan Binnington in Game 6. If not, and you lose, I can't see Berube being in the hot seat. I could see Binnington say, "Trade me right now." I mean, this is a kid who told Martin Tan Brodeur, "I'm not going to the ECHL. Loan me out." Takes guts to do that. To one of the greatest goaltenders of all time. Are you kidding me? But Ryan O'Reilly can't win this series by themselves. And Barbashev coming back and laying an elbow out. Gee, what a shock. Blow to the head? Like, come on. I don't know. The Blues are in a hurt of trouble. Can the Canucks win their first playoff series since 2011? We'll find out on Friday. So let's take a look at the brackets now. We're getting a little more complete in there. Philly still leads 3-2 despite losing Game 5. They'll play at 4 p.m. on Friday. Philly wins, they will advance to round 2. If Montreal wins, we'll play Game 7 on Sunday. Tampa Bay won Game 5 in overtime thanks to Braden Point, so they win the series 4-1. Tampa Bay will either get Washington. Well, looks like if my math is correct, Tampa Bay, I believe, will get the lowest remaining seed. So could be Montreal, could be the Islanders. Yeah, it could be Montreal or the Islanders. Looks like if they pull it off. Speaking of that series, the Islanders will have a chance to close that out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Up 3-1 on Washington. That should be a good one. Can Barry Trotz finish off his whole team? We will find out. Boston wins 2-1, wins the series 4-1. They will go to round 2. They will either get, I think they're either going to get Tampa Bay or Philly. Or unless everything just goes awry. And they could get maybe the Islanders. So we'll see about that. In the West, Vegas won last night. They won their series. They were the first to punch their ticket to round number 2. Colorado punched their ticket to round 2 today, beating the Coyotes 7-1. So they advanced to round 2. Both teams will sit and wait to see the other 2 Western Series finish off. Dallas and Calgary will play at 7:30 on Thursday, with a chance for Dallas to move on to round number 2. Dallas would most likely get Colorado. And in fact, I think that's the case now. Yeah, I think Dallas will most likely get Colorado if they advance. Blues and Canucks, unless Calgary wins the series, will likely have a date with the Vegas Golden Knights in the next round. Vancouver up 3-2. They have a chance to close them out. 6:45, different start time as usual. 6:45 on Friday for Blues and Canucks. So be on the lookout for that. Again, that's a Friday 4 p.m. start in the East for Flyers and Canadians. Now that series is wrapped up, you're going to see not as a tight schedule. So, unfortunately, folks, we're coming to the end of having a game every day starting at like 9 o'clock or noon. You're now going to have more of a normal 4 p.m., 7 p.m. opening puck drop, unfortunately. Patrick Tyler saying it. I think I mentioned it, so my apologies if I incorrectly said something. Dallas can only draw Colorado if they advance. So if Dallas wins, it's Colorado for them. But and then Vegas will get the winner of Vancouver, St. Louis. So with that, final burn from the chat. If you have anything you want to say, tell me, run it in right now. In that case, if you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out at tealtownusa.com or our YouTube channel. We also have audio content on our Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and iHeartRadio. You check it out there. If there's something we're missing, let us know. And of course, hit us up on the social, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube, Reddit, our Discord channel, of course. So thank you very much, as always, being supportive. And again, for those in the Bay Area, please be safe. Please wear your mask. And now you have another reason to wear a mask because the smoke is getting bad out here again. So let's see. Patrick Tyler, Vegas still wins in my opinion. Like a tiger, F Vegas. Don't say it. I don't know what I was supposed to say. Christopher Hogue, thank you very much. Lake Observatory still standing. That's good. My co-host finally showed up, of course. All right. Well, in that case, it's best I get out of here. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Again, hit that subscribe button down below. If you haven't already, tell all your friends. Really appreciate it. We want to thank you. We're over 2,050 subscribers, and we can't do it without you. So please let everybody know that I am covering day after day of the Stanley Cup playoffs because, what else are we going to do? So thank you very much for watching. Hit the subscribe button and follow us on the social. Check out our old content where we did interviews during the pause. And as always, until next time, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you tomorrow.